35-11, a nice dominating win for Nebraska over Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois scoring a touchdown with like 10 seconds late and a 2-point conversion to give them 11, which is kind of disappointing because 35-3 sounds like a lot more of an ass kicking than 35-11. I'm out of breath, not because I've been yelling, but because, I'm kind of surprised. I am surprised. I'm very surprised. Nebraska maybe didn't play a perfect game, but they played certainly a lot better game than we've seen from this, well, certainly this season and from this team in quite a while, I think. What did I say when I did the preview? That this Nebraska team needs to score 30 points so they can prove they can score 30 points, and they scored 35 on offense, which is impressive. Heinrich Haarberg gets his first start. And 14-24, 158 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. And I think that's the thing. We watched Heinrich Haarberg kind of grow up as a quarterback right in front of our very eyes. And the offense kind of took root and started doing things, especially in the second half, where they were actually dominating on a lot of their runs. And it was beautiful to watch for once. Now, was there sloppy things with some of the offense? Yeah, the first half offense was really like, oh my God, this is horrifying and this is never going to work and we're going to not win any games the rest of the season because we only scored, we scored 14 points in the first half, but it was pretty rough. And then you kind of looked at that one play. What was that sequence where that was the third quarter. We run, and 3rd and 3 we throw the ball, which I didn't get. But at the same time, you kind of looked at it and you go, Nebraska was always in control of this game. They were always in control of this game, always. Because Northern Illinois' offense did nothing. And even when they got a turnover, deep in our, they got the ball deep in our territory, they could only get 3 points out of it. And that's pretty impressive for the defense. And we kind of look at it and go, well, I wish we wouldn't have that one turnover. We really didn't do... You know what was missing from this game? I'll tell you what was missing from this game. This. Oh my God! Ah! That's what was missing from this game. Whenever Jeff Sims comes back and they snap the ball and the ball flies up, the ball drops on the ground. That's what I've done all the rest of the games. I didn't do that at all this game. Okay, maybe once or twice in the first half, but very, very little. And I think that's the thing. There wasn't this sheer terror of what are we going to do on offense? Can he even handle a snap? Oh my God, a man's in motion. Is the ball going to get snapped right into him and fall on the ground? Northern Illinois is going to fall on it, and we're not going to score any points, and then we're going to lose, and it's all going to fall apart in the last 3 minutes of the game. None of that shit happened. It's kind of wild. Not sure how to react to that. I'm sure people will find negatives. Let's see, we had... 5 penalties for 70 yards. I don't think we had a false start penalty, though. Maybe, well, they did. Northern Illinois had 2 penalties for 10 yards. One of those was a false start. 5 for 70 for Nebraska. Personal foul penalties, and I know what people are going to say about those. They're going to say something like, they need to clean those up. You can't be doing that kind of shit. Well, here's the thing. Ben Scott hit a guy late, smacked him to the ground. You got a roughing the quarterback call. You had that one on Prince Will where he, after the interception, we got the interception. He went quarterback hunting. That's kind of a standard thing you used to do in football. At least we did it, when I played in high school. You get a turnover, you get anything, the ball's up in the air, you're trying to find the quarterback to kill him. You can't really do that stuff anymore. On the other hand, it shows a lot of aggression. And I hope that... I hope our players are smart enough to not do that kind of stuff when the game is on the line. But, this game was never on the line. It never was. And I realize that us as fans probably were a little freaked out at times by things, but not a lot. So we come out, we run the first series, we run an option, pretty much. I mean, we ran option plays, march down the field, score right away, everything looks good, and you're like, okay, they're going to keep doing that. Well, they didn't. You're kind of like, well, why are they didn't really run very many option plays after that. And I guess I looked at that and I thought, Marcus Satterfield has to figure out what this offense can run under Heinrich Haarberg. So they tried a lot of things. And the other thing is in the second half, Heinrich Haarberg we're going to have to come up with a nickname for him. He looked a lot better. There was a pass to the flat where it had a really nice touch. He had a dart on a slant play that was a beautiful thrown ball and a beautiful catch. You know, you were kind of worried about this guy coming into this game and throwing the ball all over the place and interceptions and turnovers. And oh my God, the end of the world. And none of that happened. And it was really nice. And I know that there's probably some people, you know, I saw some people on Twitter like, I'm worried for the future. Well, don't worry for the future. Just enjoy this moment. We won a game. And we want to beat up an opponent that we should have beat up. And that's really nice. And next week we get Louisiana Tech, another opponent we should beat up, and maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But right now, Nebraska gets a win. And it's a really nice win. And before anybody else asks, I don't know what was going on with Matt Rhule's tongue. But if he's going to do this during wins, he needs to do it the entire rest of the season. Because I don't recall him doing that on the sidelines when we lost. So maybe that was the key to a victory. Anything else to say? Oh, I know I'm supposed to do these things on the fly, but night, man. Oh, you know what? I got to say, I saw pictures of the drone show and the light show. That's kind of really cool for Nebraska to be able to do that stuff. It looks like a really fun time. Let's see. Lack of screaming when the ball was snapped. I didn't take a lot of notes. Rough start. We had one turnover, Matt Rhule's tongue. I think I covered all of those. Defense was lights out. Northern Illinois finished with 149 yards, only 26 rushing. And Nebraska finished with over 224 yards rushing, but over 200 yards rushing again for the third straight game. I think that's an accomplishment. 382 total yards for Nebraska. That's pretty good. 158 passing. Heinrich Haarberg, our lack of nickname guy. And let's see what else we got. We had some really, not very good plays where, it was clear that there were some blown up plays and stuff like that. I guess the only other thing I'd mention is this. There's probably a lot of you thinking, I don't want Heinrich Haarberg running that much. But on the other hand, this is kind of the offense they're going to run. So I don't know if you go into games just completely terrified and tell your quarterback to slide, because I don't think that's part of the offense. Come what may. You have discussions about that. I guess in conclusion, it's a really nice game. It's a nice win. It was fun to not feel like in the end we were going to throw everything away and fall apart, and there would be a lot of crying and screaming and praying, and that didn't happen. Okay, there was a little bit of praying. Like, at one point I tweeted, we're watching an offense grow up right in front of our very eyes. And that was kind of a prayer at the same time it was a statement. Okay, that's the reaction from Northern Illinois. Nebraska wins 35-11. John Johnston, CornNation, thank you for watching these, and thank you for supporting us on this channel. Great game. Go Big Red.